Prune date. Okay.
This week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com. American-made Rescue products keep your family home and yard protected from pests, insects like wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more at Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com. So let's talk about some mulch and ground cover.
Mulching and ground cover. Mulch is an important aspect of your garden because it suppresses weeds. It doesn't make them go away. It helps cover the soil so less sunlight gets to the soil and in turn prevents the plants or some weeds from being able to germinate. It also retains moisture. It holds moisture in because the sun can't evaporate it from the soil. And it also, organic mulches can break down over the growing season and feed the soil. And that's what we encourage is organic mulches, not synthetic mulches like wood chips or rock, because it doesn't, there's problems to those particular items. So we can, some of these are common, some of these are uncommon, some of these can be controversial, and some of these may be universally accepted. Straw is a form of mulch, not hay. Hay is a grass that is cut for animal consumption. Straw is the stalks of barley, oats, wheat, whatever that stalk of the product is. There are organic types of straw. You'd have to figure out where you're purchasing it from or the farmer itself, because there are farmers that do spray their wheat or herbicide in order to enhance the production and kill the weeds or bugs that are issued in bugs that are eating the wheat.
So let's talk about why you might not want to use hay. Hay would have seeds,
lots of seeds, and it's green, and it can and it's a nitrogen. So as it breaks down, it's going to cause mold, mildew, introduce potential diseases, drop the seeds of the grasses that has been cut and baled, and it can rob some of the soil of nitrogen because of the breakdown process. It's a green.
Right. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind, that knowing the difference between hay and straw and using straw versus hay. So grass clippings, when you use grass clippings, you want to kind of let them dry out, and then you want to use seed-free, chemical-free grass clippings. So if you spray something on your lawn, or you pay somebody to spray something on your lawn, you want to make sure that you don't use that. But if you just let your lawn grow as normal, you can use those grass clippings. So yeah, that's an option. Another one is leaves. Now, this is not obviously a year-round option, but you may
have a pile of leaves somewhere that's caught up in a fence or along the edge of the woods. Now, if you've got a wooded area and you have unlimited access of leaves, it's not really great to go into a wooded area with a wheelbarrow or some bags and just scrape the forest floor bare, because you need those leaves for mulch. That's not a good ethical, natural procedure in which you need to do, because there's a balance in the forest that is required for things to do what it needs to do. And if you start scraping all of those leaves, you're going to disrupt some kind of balance in there, and there can be issues.
Right. So leaves are
free,
and they're usually in abundance in the fall. So that's an option. And if you are like, leaves break down, so if you put them over your garden in the fall, you could always, get more.
Yeah, you can put as much as you can, because you can always take them off in order to plant. But it comes, April, May, I don't have any leaves. Well, you're going to have to wait.
Right, you're going to have to wait. So you can also use newspaper. And
What's a newspaper?
This is very controversial.
Shredded paper,
shredded paper
would be more of a universal, not acceptable thing. I don't know if there's even newspaper. I know there's like flyers from like hardware stores and big box stores and stuff like that.
You might have, you might be a newspaper person, or you might know a newspaper person. A lot of people now went back to reading print news because they like it. So
now in our shredded paper situation, we shred everything. Glossy, non-glossy. All the ink is soy-based.
Right.
And we just chuck it all in the compost pile, in the compost bin. And there's been times where we've experimented and kind of utilized shredded paper as kind of a water retention mechanism. Example, if we're planting tomatoes. We plant them deep. And the hole is, let's say, 7 inches deep, and the plant is 9 inches tall. So you're going to put 2 inches above the ground, and you're going to have 7 inches below the ground. I would put a handful of shredded paper at the very bottom of that hole, and then put my supplements, my fertilizer, plant the tomato, and then let it break down that way. Or if you're doing a trench of potatoes, that paper does hold moisture and will break down. And as long as you're not putting poundages in the ground, it's not going to cause mold, mildew, and rot for your vegetables in which you're trying to grow. And you can also use it as a ground cover too, type thing.
Right. So another option would be cardboard, and this is controversial because people say that there's the glue, there's formaldehyde, whatever.
Too much formaldehyde.
So
office reference.
Yeah. So that's use at your own discretion. Does it work great as a mulch? Yes. You can take your cardboard boxes from your online purchases and utilize them as mulch. You can certainly do that. You can lay them flat over your garden, or you could tear them up, whatever makes sense for you. It is something that people do.
Now let's look at some ground cover. Ground cover and mulch are two different, distinct things. Ground cover is something that's living, that's covering the ground. A mulch is something that typically is a byproduct of something else that is covering the ground for a temporary period in order to allow other plants to grow.
Right. So I would say definitely do your research.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, your mileage may vary. And also don't trust just any blind advice, because you could have somebody that will tell you that mint is a good ground cover. And
it is.
It is, but it's also very invasive.
You will never get it out unless you use an herbicide to get rid of it.
So you might think, okay, I'm going to do this mint, but you have to be okay with the fact that you'll never get rid of it. So one option is Roman chamomile. It does form a nice mat of mulch. What is it called?
Ground cover. Yeah.
Yeah. And it has beautiful little flowers that kind of look like little daisies. So that could be a good option for you. And most of these are from zone 3 to 9.
Yeah. Strawberries. Strawberries can be a ground cover. They also have a beneficial of producing fruit for you as well. Thyme is another ground cover that will do very well in some partial shade areas. And this is the thing. If you've got an area in which a flower bed or side of the house where you've got bare soil, or you potentially are concerned of an erosion situation, ground cover is a good option because it's going to cover the ground, create a barrier between the sun and the soil, and hold that soil in the place, or just simply liven up and make the area more aesthetically pleasing to your landscape.
Yeah, exactly. Another one I want to mention is called Scotch moss, and this basically forms just a low-lying ground cover that looks like moss, and then during the peak of the seasons, it will have these tiny white flowers. This is something you see a lot in botanical gardens, or like botanical garden type places, public gardens, whatever you want to call them, because it does have a nice moss-like look, but it also has that flowering as well. So that is a good option. It does prefer like a full sun situation, so keep that in mind. And it does grow well, and sometimes people even use it as like a lawn substitute. So that's, if you're ever like, what's that, short mossy like plant at the botanical garden, that's probably what it is.
There you go. So ground cover, mulch, great options, and we could do a whole show on just ground covers that may work well in your area. So your mileage may vary. Do some research. There will be a ground cover that will work for you, whether it's creeping thyme, whether it's strawberries, whether it's something else. What you need to meet your needs, there is a ground cover that will work for you.
So we are brought to you today by our sponsor, Walton's Inc. Listen, we know you care about where your veggies come from, canning, preserving, etc. But what about the meat? At Walton's, we want you to get all the equipment, seasoning, and supplies to make sausage, jerky, and any other meat products your way to your high standards. You want to make snack sticks that people will actually like? Walton's created meatjuststicks.com, an informational site to help you make the best finished product. They even have a full line of their own meat grinders, mixers, and sausage stuffers to help you go from animal to edible. Walton's Everything But the Meat. You can use code GROW50, that's GROW50, to save 10% off orders of $50 or more.